Roll for Crit here in Dallas, Texas at the PhD Speed Gaming event. We're here with Privateer Press, and they're known for their miniatures, and here have a lot of cool new OP kit stuff, as well as a new thing called CID. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, the CID is our community integrated development, which is kind of a way of saying kind of like an open play testing. It's all regulated through our website. People can go there and register and then participate in an active play testing of the new items. So we'll develop a new product, a new miniature or a new unit, anything that's involved with the game. It'll go through its normal cycle, and then about 3 to 4 months before what we intend for the release date to happen, we put it up for the CID, for playtesting with the community as a greater whole. What that allows us to do is to get a better idea of how it will interact with the gamers themselves. So then it's just going to be more fine-tuned. And the great thing about it is it will build excitement with the gamers, and then only a couple months later, it comes out as a finished product. Unlike under the normal progression of how something is developed, at that point in time when it's done playtesting, you're talking 6 months to 12 months later is when it would come out, and by then the enthusiasm is gone.
Right.
So through this process, it's not just a way for the gamers to take ownership of the developing of the game and actually participate in it and help shape the world and what goes on, but it's also just a way for players to know what's coming out as well.
Right. So. I think that kind of stuff is always great. Because I mean, we always love to, as gamers, like to participate, and it's nice for you to then see, like, if you had maybe you gave them a miniature with some weird new rule that turned out either to be a lot of people really like that rule, in which you're like, okay, so this is something we maybe want to attach to other things, or maybe not as much. So you're like, okay, they don't like how this thing works.
Sure, absolutely.
So, yeah, it's also kind of like the Apple model of where you announce a thing like right before you release it. It's nice to have that more instant gratification than having to wait forever and ever.
Yeah, we want to pull the veil back a bit. I mean, obviously, we don't want to let people know a week before it's released or a month before. Having a little bit more lead time into it is always good for the community to be excited. But we like it most because we get the feedback and the connection with the end users, who at the end of the day, those are the ones that are the driving force behind what we're doing. And the more involvement that we have with them, to a degree, it's just simply going to help make a better quality game and experience for everybody involved.
Absolutely. Sure. So you've also got a bunch of different kits here on the table, all laid out. It's like a beautiful buffet. Why don't you go over what some of these are?
Pick which one you think is the coolest you want to start with.
Oh man, the coolest.
I think we gotta go big and
That's
shiny.
a contender.
Great. We'll start with the steamroller. Let's start with these parts here. This is the basic part of the kit first. If you want to pick up one of those so people can see it. This is the free kit that we send out. People can order these to run their events in their stores. And it comes with first, second, third place certificates. They're really nice. I mean, you've got some nice gold and silver and bronze inlays on this, and the artwork is fantastic, and you can fill them out however you want. That's fantastic. The next thing after this that progresses to, the first thing that you would want to purchase if you want to go with a slightly higher level one, is the first, second, third place model or metal pins that are over there. So you got gold, silver, and bronze. And then after that, if you want to add another layer to it beyond the competition part, if you want to award the best painted and the best sportsman, you've got your diplomat and I forget the name.
Artisan
pins.
Well, that's really nice because I think that would definitely attract a lot of people.
Yep. And then saving the best for last that caught your eye is the premium metal kits. Those are the big ones, so hold those ones.
Oh yeah.
These are if you want to, once a year or twice a year, you really want to put the coup de grace, the nail in the coffin. This is what it is. These are the premier kits that you want to pick up for the steamrollers. Now, those are, like I said, those are all four of those are part of the steamroller. That's the competitive tournament style. And then everything else we have here is a little bit more on the casual side of things. But this is what everybody is used to. But unfortunately, or whatnot, a lot of players and a lot of stores are unaware that there's 4 levels of those. So that's why we wanted to show those off to you now. So hopefully we can get a little bit more, coverage on that to let people know that there's several tiers you can go with.
Right, and absolutely, I think it's better because if you just want to run stores constantly, these are much nicer.
Absolutely.
But then when you do this, then it feels much more important because it's not only is it bigger, it's rare, and then to reward people who just do a great job painting and stuff, then they still feel like.
That's the great thing about this one is that there's a lot of people out there that are, let's face it, at the end of the day, our game system is very much about the competitive side. It's been built for that, right? But there are a lot of people that just, like myself, have fallen in love with the models, the imagery, and the world. And I know that there are some people out there that have been playing far longer than I have. I stand little chance to go out there and come in first place, other than my local meta, where maybe I can kind of bully some of them.
Right. When you walk into a store and they have all these already pinned on their chest.
Right,
like,
right, exactly. But I know I can walk in, though, with a nicely painted army, and people tell me I'm a nice guy to play against. My chances of walking away with one of those is pretty good. And I think it's about rewarding the many facets that are, or that is, our greater hobby.
Right, and then this might actually push people towards like the being a nicer person because, or like even like just make someone feel like interested. Even if they see someone who wins, this might be like, hey, yours looked awesome. I saw you won that. Can you give me some pointers?
Exactly.
And that's kind of stuff.
And that's the great thing that exactly we want to foster that behavior, because it's one of the great things about the Privateer Press, the Iron Kingdom's, Warmachine and Horde's community as a global stance. They have a reputation for being very involved with each other and accepting people in and offering the advice and trying to essentially create a culture unconsciously that is very inclusive. And we want to help give them more tools to help with that. And I think that that's definitely a part that a kit that helps with that. So.
Absolutely.
You fill both ends, both the competitive and the
the more casual side. Yeah.
Let's touch on. I like these nice little patches over
These
here.
ones are really cool. This is our Journeyman League kit. This is one of the ones that we, with new accounts or communities that are just beginning, or just if you've already got one established but you got a lot of veteran players that want to start new armies, this is your escalation league campaign, whatever you want to call it. So you will generally start, the rules, the way this one is laid out, is everyone starts with a battle group box. That's your little $40 plastic box set with your caster, a couple jacks, and go from there. And you build up and escalate over a period of time. I believe in our recommendations it's a 6-week and you escalate every 2 weeks, but as the organizer you can modify that based on what your community needs. But these are cool little patches. Everybody starts with this, and then as they continue to go through they pick up their ranks, and then you got the little special ones here. But these are neat because these are little iron-on patches that you put on your bags or other paraphernalia, shirts, whatever you want to, and just iron them out and they stay there. Personally, I want to put them on a hat, you know.
Sure. No, I mean that sounds really awesome. Just the idea of more of like almost a campaign, so to speak, and that, I mean, actual military ranks and stuff. So you feel really cool, like
it's
having
like being
that.
a Boy Scout or getting karate belts.
I mean, it plays into the imagery within the universe as well, because in the Warmachine side of things, we are talking about formalized armies here. There are ranks and insignias, so it feeds right into to that universe, you know. But the great thing about this is you can use it because it's just a simple escalation league. You can use it as a platform, as a template for almost any kind of thing you want to do, whether it's a campaign, an actual league. You can even do, I've had stores that would run a tournament, they're 4 or 5 rounds, and each round you go up in points, and this plays right into the same concept. So it's very universal. This and obviously the main kit and the first, second, third place, those are the most popular ones that we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got these two
less
left.
popular ones.
Not less popular, but those are the ones that are just
Gotcha,
all the time.
gotcha.
So we got these two left. Which one do you want to talk about next? Which one do you
Let's start over
this
here.
one here?
Yeah.
This is the Full Steam launch kit. This is basically for new stores, new communities that are just kind of kicking off. They can pick this up, and they just have some cool, heavy-duty, you know, metal coins, essentially, that you can pick up and just use them as general awards for however you want to build it in the store. If you want to have a one-day kickoff, it's like, hey, we're just going to celebrate everything Iron Kingdoms today. We're going to go to town, play a lot of games, and everything else using the door prizes. You can, you know, this is the guy that won a King of the Hill event, or Last Man Standing, however you want to use them. They're just general prize support for launching or relaunching, or just you want to do a birthday celebration store in the store because it's the anniversary of the store. You can use it for that as well.
So nice.
Solid.
Yeah, they're very solid.
Well built.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They would hurt if you threw it at someone.
Let's not do that. Let's keep everything peaceful. Keep it on the table.
Diplomat. And the last one here, we got cards this time.
This one is, I think this is one of our cooler ones. This is, every year we come out with narrative campaigns, very much the more casual side of things. This last year we did what's called the Crossroad of Courage, which every quarter through the year, these begin and end at Lock and Load every year, right, which is our show that we have in the Seattle area. It begins and ends there. This one, we're in season 3. It's just about ready to start here relatively soon. Right? I believe we started sending these out already. It's a narrative-based campaign, and it's about a character named Holden. And the way it starts off is he's basically troubled in his mind. He doesn't know there's a great war going on, and a battle came to like his hometown, and he's essentially trying to decide, am I a good guy or am I a bad guy? What's going on? And how we decide that is, again, through community involvement. As you play in the campaign, you can submit either just bullet point format, nice and simple, or if you want to write a story of what happened during each part of the campaign, you submit that. You shape how Holden comes out. So that's why there's a good guy and a bad guy card. And the new cards come out with every pack, and he's a little bit different. The coins come out. These are participation coins. If you have previous coins from like the first and second waves of this, those coins have abilities in Chapter 3. So as you participate, you get extra abilities with him, and you can play him in either course. And then at the end of it, in Lock and Load, which is where it'll culminate, we're going to release this model. The community helped not only shape what the card does, but the model itself as well.
So depending on how much good or bad appears.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, that sounds fantastic. That sounds really cool because that just sort of makes everyone really excited to be like, all right, it's not just playing the war. It's not just I'm the general. This is, you're seeing how one character grows over the years.
And just like with the community integrated development, you add to that. So the more you play, the more you get involved with it, the more you lend to shaping of that. And we've had guys that literally submit full stories of like just how their battles went.
Which actually brings a third kind of person, or fourth, I guess. We have the nice, we have the artist, and we have the competitive. And now we have the story writer.
Exactly.
You're fitting in all these.
That's the great thing about these types of we call them games, but really hobbies, because we use that word because it's multifaceted. For every person, for every individual that's out there, there are that participates in it. There's that many ways of looking at what is it that turns you on about it. So that's what we're trying to do with all the OP that we're coming out with. Is we're trying to figure out who are the people out there that we haven't reached out to yet. What can we do to help them enjoy it even more?
Oh, that's great.
And that's what we want to do.
No, I mean, between the CID and then from all the OP kits, it's really obvious you're trying to focus and making sure your community feels welcome no matter where they fit in that community.
Our main focus, starting late last year, going through this year and into next year, is about supporting the organized play with the stores to make sure that the communities are having fun as often as they possibly can, and then also the second part of that is helping them with recruitment. Because with the launch of Mark III a year ago, funny enough, we want to try our best to let everybody have a chance to just play the game. That's what we ask everybody, just give it a try. Roll some dice, have some fun, smash some stuff up, make a great story, let us know about it. And that's really what we want.
Yeah,
So,
and I know you had one other thing, I believe, that you want to talk about that's coming up.
yeah, later this year, in the summer, we have the Summer Rampage coming out. I don't have a lot of details about it at the moment, but it's going to be one of our next pieces of organized play. The unique thing about that one is we're going to go back to the CID and the OP to talk about the topic of the press gangers. As you recently know, the press ganger program has been dissolved for reasons that you can read about. But what we've done to replace it is we're changing the OP kits to include extra items, forms of swag, limited edition models, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure what is all going to go in there. There's another department that sorts that out. But those extra items can be used by the store to award them to someone that wants to run an event in the store for them, as a press ganger would, right? The same thing. Or if the store themselves, either an employee or the store owner is going to do it, he can add it into as extra prize support. But we're making the OP kits bigger, so that way you have more things in there to run these events in the store and award your alpha gamers that are there that are helping you build that community and they're leading the way to having good gaming experiences. So I just wanted to bring up the Summer Rampage. Everyone's got to keep an eye out for that. More information is to be coming out because that's going to be the first OP that's going to come out with the expanded items in it. So,
yeah, well, lots of exciting content coming out constantly, it seems. Throughout
and the last cool thing is go back to the CID real quick. On April 27th, we're going to be having an open discussion with the players from 10 to 3 Pacific time, where we're going to be discussing various things about gameplay. So people want to check that out, go to the website, into the CID, and check that out. And then the next round of the CID play testing is going to be battle engines. So if you really like the battle engine models, this is your time to jump on there and register and participate in the community integrated development, because then you have a say.
Seems like in general a good time to also, if you haven't tried any of the Warmachine stuff, to jump in.
Absolutely.
Like you said, with the Mark III just coming out and all this stuff.
This is the best time in the years. I haven't been with Privateer Press for very long, but this is the best time ever to get into it with the new Battle Group boxes, $40. It's going to be hard pressed to find another game system that's that inexpensive to get into right off the bat.
I remember
that has a nice box with lots of stuff in it, dice and measuring tools, little bits of terrain, lots of cool models. So.
Last year when they were first coming around, I remember we actually played with them, and that was our first experience with that kind of stuff. And we're like, what? I mean, it seems everything we need. A nice, fun group is there, all the tools. And then now with all this stuff, you know, even if you didn't jump in until now, you can still get these fantastic, awesome swag without feeling like you need to
perfect word for it.
Yeah, without feeling you need to put like years into before you get it.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
All this stuff looks super cool. If you want to see more from Privateer Press, we'll have links for all that stuff in our description. And you can find more stuff right here on our YouTube channel. And we are Roll for Crit.